Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to Luther Family Ford. The sun is shining, cars are flying off the lot, and we're all having a great time here at the Luther Family Ford. Salute to law enforcement. My good friend Brian Mosier is a general manager here, and always great to come on over and see you and your team. And today we got a whole bunch of guests with us today, too, from the Cass County Sheriff's Office. What could be better than a Monday morning at Luther Family Ford?
I can't think of anything that'd be better, actually. You know, we've got a great crowd here and great weather, so I'm just thankful for that.
Thanks for doing this program. It's been, I don't know, several years now that we've done this here, and you and your team always welcome us and whatever agency we're honoring. Tell us why this is something that you all like to be involved with.
Well, you know, like we've talked about before, you know, back when this whole thing started, and I was on board right away just because of my background, you know, in law enforcement, and I just think it's great to give back to those guys who serve us 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, they keep us safe, and it's definitely worthwhile to pay it back to those guys.
Yeah, we were talking earlier before the ceremony began. Most of the honorees are like, okay, I suppose I'll do this. Nobody really enjoys being in front of the camera and making a big deal out of themselves. So we get to do that for them, and we're so thankful for hundreds, thousands of great law enforcement professionals in our community that keep our community safe. And like I always say, when one part of our community is served really well with good law enforcement, man, that spills over to all different parts of our region. So we're very thankful to everyone in law enforcement. If that's you, we say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. My name is Steve Hallstrom, President, Managing Partner at Fieldstone Group, Flag Family Media, and this is something that we really look forward to doing every day. Today we are honoring the Cass County Sheriff's Office and the great people that do the good work throughout the county for us all, and want to say a special welcome to Sheriff Jesse Jahner. Jesse, thank you for being here with us and giving us a reason to get back together here this month and honor your team here in September. We also want to say thank you to all the team members at Luther Family Ford who get out of the way for us a little bit and allow us to come in and do this. We know that they're very busy doing their work, and we kind of come in and throw a few elbows around here while we're getting this done, so we appreciate them. With that being said, it's time to meet this month's honorees. So would you please join me in giving a big round of applause to Sergeant Joe Crawford. Joe, good morning. Thank you, buddy, for letting us make a big deal out of you for a little bit here today. What does it mean to see some of your teammates here and be honored today with this?
Well, first of all, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Brian, for allowing us to be here today. But look around, look at my team. This is what it's all about. It's about a team.
Yeah. We're going to find out, or we're going to talk to Joe a little bit more here in a moment, but let me read to you a little bit about him that was sent over by Sheriff Jahner and his team. Sergeant Joe Crawford has worked over 25 years serving the citizens of Cass County in the following divisions: Corrections, Patrol, School Resource Deputy, and Operations Administration Sergeant. As the operations sergeant, Joe oversees 5 school resource deputies and critical operations components such as evidence management, quartermaster duties, Axon systems administrator, and fleet vehicles. Sergeant Crawford is also the Airboat commander and driving instructor for the emergency vehicle operations course. Sergeant Crawford has had the privilege of being a part of several regional and state school safety boards. Over the last 25 years, Sergeant Crawford has received many awards and accommodations, including the 2024 Supervisor of the Year. In his spare time, Sergeant Crawford enjoys traveling with his wife of 26 years, his 2 adult children, and their spouses. He also enjoys spending time at the lake with family and friends. Congratulations to Sergeant Crawford for all that you do here in our community. Tell me a little bit about how you decided to get into law enforcement. Was this something that you always wanted to do?
Actually, no, I wanted to be an airline pilot, but I couldn't afford the $130,000 flight school to get into it. So my neighbor in Seattle was a Bothell police officer, and I rode with him a couple of times, and then I went to college and then moved back to Fargo. And ironically, there was a woman that worked for the sheriff's office, and I just happened to stop and ask her, hey, what does it take to work for the men and women in Brown? And needless to say, I filled out an application and went through the interview process, and the rest is history.
And you've been hooked, and here you are ever since. You've done so many different things, Joe. What have you enjoyed doing most? Is there a part of that or one of the roles that has really stood out to you?
No, because every day's different. And I enjoy doing, whether it be when I was in the jail, because I'm the last hire of the old jail, and then we all transferred over to the new jail where it's currently at. Patrol operations, obviously my school resource deputy position. Some of my kids and parents are here, and then now as an administrator, I get to help steer the ship a little bit, and making some of those decisions and whatnot. My SRD team is here to support me as well, so thank you guys for coming. So no, every day's different, and it's a great day. So
what is it about working with those kids? You can tell you just light up when you're talking about being in those schools.
It's they give back to you just as much as you give to them, and it's just that positive atmosphere. I'll be 50 this year, so it keeps you young. Let's just call it that. So,
tell me a little bit about what you've learned through the years. What did you have to go through to learn on your own about law enforcement that nobody could have really taught you when you started, but through all the years you've come to have maybe an appreciation or a realization for a part of the job? Anything stand out to you that way?
Yes, humility. People go through tough times, whether it be a simple breakdown alongside the road or they're dealing with some family situations. A lot of times when people call 911, it's one of their lowest points in lives, and we get there and our team comes together to come with a solution, whether it be a simple solution or a complex solution, whatever it is, and we come and to help make them better. In a sense. So
you might know more people than anybody else in the sheriff's office does just because of that SRO position that you've had and all the families and kids that have come through those schools and now know you and probably see you out of the gas station. What's that like to see a lot of maybe that are now having families of their own?
It's humbling. I mean, you could have elementary kids come running up to you, and the parents are like, no, like, what are you doing? The old stranger danger, and they're like, no, it's Officer Crawford, and they're like, oh, okay, because they've heard about me. Maybe not have never met me, but they've heard about me, and it's once again very humbling that you've had a chance to impact thousands of kids.
Yeah.
So
what advice would you have for young people entering law enforcement? Maybe someone who is just kind of getting in, taking their first role in law enforcement somewhere, but something you've learned over the years that you'd want to impart to them.
I think learn. Law enforcement has changed over the years, and we have to adapt and learn as time goes on. And even as new people coming in off the street tomorrow, our next hire, is learn, train, work hard, become dedicated to your profession, and they'll be dedicated to you. So.
You are also the Airboat commander and driving instructor for the Emergency Vehicle Operations Course. We've been doing this a while. I don't know that we've had an Airboat commander here in our list of honorees. Tell me a little bit about that and when the Airboat comes out.
Sure. Well, unfortunately or fortunately, airboats usually tend to come out for flood events. Or some type of rescue dealing with water. But I do want to say that I've got a pair of F-250s that pull the airboats around. So thank you, Ford, for that. But other than that, like I said, they're PR events for us as well, is because we want people to come and see what these things are all about. And with 600 horses under your right foot, it's they're fun.
Tell me about your team and why they mean so much to you and how you all work together to do the important job that you have.
Well, if you look around, every single person here has a job duty, but yet it takes all of us to make that mission complete. So thanks you guys for being here.
I'm going to wander around here and talk to the sheriff. Sheriff Jahner, I would say, first of all, thank goodness that Joe's family didn't win the lottery when he was younger and he would have had the money to go to flight school, because now we probably wouldn't have him here. But what an amazing ambassador, and just you can tell he's got a love for what he does and the love for people here.
Yeah, you can just tell through his positivity, that's what he brings every day. This isn't just because he's here today, that's how he is every day. So when you have a person like that around the office, someone who cares about, as he's mentioned a few times this morning, teamwork, it's a benefit to our organization, and it's a benefit to the citizens of Cass County. As you and I were talking before this, of all the relationships, positive relationships he's built out in the county. I can be out regularly in the rural areas, and people will come up and they'll ask, where's Officer Joe? Or how's he doing? Or what's he doing now? And so that's a testament really to just the positive relationships he's built, not only with parents, but also with our students in our community that are so important to us. And so we have him in the perfect role, because school safety is important to us, our relationships with our children, and he just does an exceptional job along with our other school resource deputies who are here this morning, building those important relationships, and Captain Brigham, who oversees that. They all do an exceptional job, and Joe's a person in the right position to help steer that ship.
Tell us what's happening in the county these days. I always like to get an idea of what kind of trends you're seeing out there, what's happening out in some of the more rural areas of our county.
Yeah, well, obviously, as we mentioned this morning, the weather's nice, but pretty soon it'll be turning here, so we'll start getting our equipment ready for winter weather and rescues and things like that. We've got some of our jail command staff here today, and as we've been talking about for a couple of years now, the jail's been an issue for our community and for our agency with the capacity. But we're happy to say now we're excited. We've got the new pod open, and as we were visiting with Captain Frobig this morning, my jail administrator, you heard him say we've already got 90 people in there, and we were hoping that we wouldn't get that many people in there right away, because that means that we're having some issues in our community and people committing crimes and public safety issues. But we're happy that we have the room now where people can be brought in if they are causing those problems in our community, and we can keep everyone safe.
Yeah, so. Well, that's part of having a safe community. Is I think what this tells us is that we've had that need for a while, and there are people that for a time need to be in there, and to be able to have the capacity to put them in there, that's a good thing. It should make our community feel safe.
Yeah, and I've said this numerous times. I mean, the jail is such an important piece of the criminal justice system here. I think a lot of times it gets overlooked. People kind of forget about it, but definitely, like you mentioned, over the last couple of years, right, we've seen how important that is, because when the jail was full, it caused problems with officers making those arrests and not being able to bring them in, which relates to public safety. So it's an extremely important piece. I'm proud of all the men and women that serve in the jail. Sometimes they don't get the recognition, but they deal with a tough environment every day, and they've worked through some tough circumstances over the last couple of years with how full it's been. And it's like playing checkers in there every day so they could find room so we could keep the community safe. So really appreciate everything they do. I also appreciate, obviously, everyone that's here and all of our other divisions and everything that they do for our organization.
Well, congratulations on that new jail pod. I know it was a long time coming. It takes way more planning. We got a kind of a behind-the-scenes look before the jail opened, the new pod, and you can tell how much planning and how much work that went into to just design it the right way and be thinking about the right things and how to give people an experience that's respectful of them while they are there. That's a big part of it too. So well done on that. Big deal.
Yeah, thank you. And there was a lot of input from our command staff out of the jail, from our employees, on how we should design that thing. And everything, what we kept in mind was being able to utilize our resources efficiently and then be fiscally responsible as we, put that thing together. So we didn't have to have an exceptional amount of people working in there to run it, but with the design element. And there was a number of people that had input on that. So I think that's a testament to just their knowledge and then just watching out for the community in general.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, Jesse.
Yep,
thanks for doing what you do every day for us.
Thanks again for you guys being here, and then also Brian as well, your team. So.
Thanks, Jesse. All right, we have a couple things to finish up here with. Luther Family Ford donating a $100 gift card to Sgt Crawford. And Joe, I was asking you before we got together here for this, I said, is there a nonprofit or an organization in the community that's meant a lot to you? And you had an idea that came to your mind right away.
Yes, our jail chaplains.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell me about what they mean to you on a day-to-day basis. Those of you who are working, doing what you're doing, why is jail chaplain so important?
It could be the very simple things of going around to each one of our offices or spending time in the jail and talking with each one of us and doing check-ins, making sure that our well-being is good, or to doing our large events, our cookouts, or our event over at Thunder Road every year. So they do a lot for us. So
yeah, they love the inmates. They love the staff. We know that about them. Absolutely. Sandy's Donuts also saying their thanks. We'll be delivering some goodies to here at Luther Family Ford and as well to the Cass County Sheriff's Office. We have an honoree section on our website, am1100theflag.com, where you can find out more about Joe and all of the other honorees that we've had come through this program. And in the days ahead, we'll be inviting Joe to join Kevin and Alex on the Need to Know morning show on AM 1100 The Flag and FM 92.3. Last thing I always like to say is that at our company, when there's action taken by law enforcement and it makes the news, we give the benefit of the doubt to the men and women who've gone through that training and who know in a very real way what to do and how to do it. And most of us have no idea the training they go through to make sure that when things escalate, those things are handled well. And so we appreciate and respect them a great deal for that. Before we finish up here, one more chance for us to celebrate Joe. Would you please join me giving a big round of applause to Sgt Crawford this morning? And we'll see you back here next time around, next month on AM1100theflag.com. Take care.